So we go from ice and snow, like snow, like four-wheeler pulling tube snow, to what is it going to be, 60 degrees today?
Yep.
Yeah, well, I think it's that way around the country. Welcome to Morning Crankers.
Disclaimer. Morning Crankers is not responsible for coffee snorts, keyboard drool, awkward public laughter, spontaneous twerking, or any texts you regret after listening. Side effects may include joy, confusion, and the realization that your sense of humor needs therapy. If symptoms persist, don't call us. We're not that kind of show. Now then, good morning, you half-awake, chaos-loving, life on hard mode, champions of Earth. This is Morning Crankers, the show that slaps harder than a grandma with a fly swatter. Jokes are fresh, filters are off, and dignity left the chat hours ago. So grab your caffeine, hug your poor decisions, and brace yourself for the ride. Welcome to Morning Crankers.
Well, yeah, we survived another week, although we're a little bit late with this podcast. Well, is it our fault? I mean, you know, the ice and the snow, is it because of global warming? Is it something because you're spraying Aquanet on your hair?
No, I don't use Aquanet.
Not at all?
No.
Well, I mean, it's got to be something because we're having some weird weather, wouldn't you agree?
I would agree.
Yeah, so it's just one of them things. But the kids got to have some fun. They went out and they were getting pulled around on a four-wheeler. And then the other kids, like, you know, we're old enough that we have kids, and then those kids have some kids. Yep. But the kids that have the kids, those kids, they got to go out and make quite a bit of money.
Yeah,
you know,
did.
Snow plowing. I guess it pays to be a Northlander sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, well, what did you think earlier this week about, what is it, Puttatonky or Puxatonky? What is it, Puxatonky Phil?
I don't even know.
Yeah, well, you try to say it. Is it Puxatonky or is it
so.
Puttatonky?
No, I think it's the first one.
Okay, so what do you think, I mean, like about what he said, 6 more weeks of winter?
Well, ours is saying we're hitting spring, so.
Well, I'm ready for spring. You know what? I'm kind of tired of winter. I'm over it already. I think that's the new way that the kids say. I'm just over it.
We are.
Yeah. It's supposed to be 60, and Monday is supposed to be 70. And then you think back a week ago, we had 2 inches of ice, and we had, 8 inches of snow?
Yep.
So, I mean, that's wild to me. But we do go through this down in the Ozarks, you know, where we'll have some Christmases that are 75 degrees, and then we'll have other Christmases that are, 20?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we get...
ice.
And ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, I got something here. Yeah, February 2nd was National Tater Tot Day. Now, I love tater tots. Do you?
I'm not a fan.
Well, I know. And it's okay not to be perfect.
Nobody's perfect. Sorry.
Speak for yourself.
Nobody's perfect.
It's National Ukulele Day. It was at least on February 2nd. And it's National Heavenly Hash Day. All this week, you know, do you like that chocolate whipped cream type thing?
I like the whipped cream, not the chocolate.
And then the February 3rd, it was National Take a Cruise Day, Four Chaplains Day, National Missing Persons Day. Now, you do Among Monsters podcast also, and that's really interesting. It's got a lot to do with serial killers and missing people. Do you think people actually know how many missing people there actually are?
No.
Because I kind of get this, you know, just watching you do Among Monsters and all the content that you have and all the content that you could do, there are tons and tons and tons of missing people. I would say a lot of them are deceased, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're just missing. And I don't think regular, normal, hardworking, everyday, average Americans have any idea how many missing people there are.
They don't. Put it this way, I'll never run out of podcasts to do.
That's crazy to me. Well, we'll switch from that to it was National Carrot Cake Day. Now, I'm
That's
carrot
a
cake.
favorite.
It is a favorite. And again, where I'm right and you're wrong is you don't think raisins belong in carrot cake, where I do.
I never said that.
Oh, you do?
No.
Okay, so do raisins belong in carrot cake?
I think it's good in carrot cake. I don't know if they necessarily belong, but it's good.
Well, I mean, that's kind of, that's kind of the point. I'll take a definitive stance right now and say raisins belong in carrot cake. I'd like to know what the listeners think. If you think that raisins belong in carrot cake, send us an email and tell me why at morningcrakers@gmail.com. And if you don't think they belong, send Roxy an email, morningcrakers@gmail.com, and tell why it might not belong.
I don't know.
Because, that's what you're saying.
No, I didn't say it doesn't belong. I said I like it in there, but some people might not.
Well, who cares about what people like? We're talking about whether it belongs, right?
Maybe.
No, yeah. It is. Okay. It's also the day that the music died on February 3rd. You know what that is, right?
Yeah, it's a song.
Well, it wasn't. It was a song wrote about a plane crash in Iowa where the Big Bopper, Richie Valens, and, what's the most important one? The guy.
I don't know.
Well, anyways, all three of them passed away in a crash, and they called it the day the music died. Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, the Big Bopper.
Oh, yeah, Buddy Holly.
Yeah, Buddy Holly. How can you forget that name? I did it for a second. But what's your excuse?
I know. You started it.
National Sweater Day. National Hemp Day. Hemp's pretty useful. You can make oil from it. You can make rope from it. You can make shirts. I mean, there's so much stuff you can make from it. It's National Girls and Women in Sports Day. It's kind of nice to have that day again because of all the men that were women that decided that they were women that got to play in women's sports, but they had a natural advantage. It's good to see that stuff gone, don't you think?
I do.
Yeah. February 4th, also National Homemade Soup Day. Now, I'm a huge soup and sandwich guy. You, on the other hand, don't believe in soup and sandwich. How come that is?
Oh, I believe in soup. I don't like the sandwich part.
Why?
Because it's like...
Soup and sandwich, it's like the most American thing ever.
I don't know.
Think about it. Roast beef sandwich, homemade potato bacon soup.
You like sandwiches with everything.
Well, some. I mean, they got to be incredibly done sandwiches.
Peanut butter and chili.
Yep, peanut butter and chili. Some people are going to say that's weird, but it's not. You're wrong. Roast beef and potato bacon soup. I mean, that's kind of a thing, don't you think?
Doesn't even go.
Oh, it goes.
No.
It does. It's National Chocolate Fondue Day. Okay, yesterday. That's pretty good. It's Optimist Day, and I'm much more the optimist. You're much more the pessimist, wouldn't you say?
No.
Huh. It was also on February 5th, National Shower with a Friend Day.
I guess that one.
Well, there's always makeups.
Oh.
Don't you think? National Weather Person's Day. The only job you can have and be wrong every day, and it's okay. And today, National Chopsticks Day, Bubblegum Day. Okay, what's the best bubblegum?
I like Bubblicious.
Wrong. Big League Chew.
No.
Big League Chew by far. It's not even a question. It's like if we were making gum gods, okay, Big League Chew would be Zeus.
I don't think so.
Bubblicious might be Poseidon, maybe.
I like watermelon Bubblicious if I'm going to have bubble gum. But if it's just regular gum, it's got to be extra, the really neon green one.
Oh, the spearmint or the wintergreen?
The spearmint.
The spearmint. See, I'm more into wintergreen than I am spearmint, but it's okay. The only gum that sits on the top, like the god of gums, is Big League Chew grape. It is what it is. Nobody's going to deny that fact. And that's a fact.
That's your opinion.
Well, sometimes opinions and facts are the same thing.
No.
It is National Yogurt Day. Okay, I'm kind of
I love yogurt.
Yogurt's good. You can make it with stuff. But if you're forced to eat it, it's not good. You know what I'm saying?
I can eat it all the time.
Like,
Yum.
if the doctor says, hey, you have to eat this, and it's like, I don't know if I want to.
I could.
Every day?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I try and eat a yogurt a day.
Well, you eat a lot a day, and, I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
That's all right.
So, we got a week away. We're talking about Valentine's Day. So that next week's going to be a fun show, the Valentine's Day. The last one we did, we actually talked about the origins of, the Irish and their fighters and Cupid and all, where that came from. It's kind of dark.
Yeah, I think it's a Hallmark holiday.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're all Hallmark holidays, but they go way back, right?
Yeah.
Hallmark just adopted and, did some fancy marketing and, things like that. But I am kind of interested. I started looking up, and I like movies. I'm a movie guy. You're a movie gal. There's a few of the most anticipated movies of 2026, and I wanted to go through the list and see what you thought. Okay, there's a new Mario coming out, and I never saw the last Mario, so what do you think?
I like it. I like Mario.
Okay, well, Greenland 2, that already came out in 2026. It's on my watch list. How about you?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Is it weird to you that we have everything going on with the government and, Europe and America when it comes to Greenland, and nobody even, like, most 8th graders, if you put out a map, they couldn't even point where Greenland was. And then all of a sudden, we have Greenland 1 come out. Then you have Donald Trump saying, okay, well, this is strategic for us to have this. And then we have Greenland 2 come out. Do you think that's a coincidence?
Mm,
Is there something to it?
I bet there is.
There's got to be something to it. Also, there was People We Meet. I think that's supposed to be a funny one. I don't know. January 16th of this year already, 28 years later, the Bone Temple trailer. I want to see that.
That looks good.
Now, we've watched the other 28 years, 28 days, 28 seconds. We've watched all those. Do you put that in the top 10 of scary zombie movies?
I think it's pretty close.
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere in there. The Rip, I've seen that. It was okay. Now, if we go down, how about Goat? February 13th, it comes out.
I've seen one similar.
Did you like it or no?
It was cute.
Then you have Wuthering Heights or Wuthering Heights. Elvis Presley in concert. They just took a bunch of his concert stuff and sliced and diced and put that together. So nothing big there. The Sheep Detectives comes out February 26th. Hugh Jackman, Emma Thompson. Do you think that's going to be good?
I don't know. It kind of sounds weird.
It is a little weird. It's a comedy about a sheep shepherd. And Hugh Jackman's, for Hugh Jackman, that's kind of a weird, he did The Showman or whatever, but this is kind of weird for him. And then, of course, our next installment of Scream comes out February 27th. You like Scream?
I do. I think it's just getting more and more over.
Diluted and yeah. The Bride comes out March 6th. Christian Bale's in it. And it looks like it's kind of a
Gothic movie.
Frankenstein type film with a young woman in the 30s in Chicago. So, it might be something. Hoppers. I'm just going to go through a few of these, and you stop me if something sounds good. Reminders of Him.
No.
Project Hail Mary.
Mm-mm.
Ready or Not 2.
I've actually seen the first one. That was pretty good.
Yeah, and this lady on the front of this has a ball gag in her mouth, which would obviously make you want to watch it, right?
Sure.
Okay. Then the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I doubt you're going to be interested in that. The Mummy.
I think that is going to be a good one.
The April 17th one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably going to be good. Apex.
Never heard of it.
It's got Charlize Theron in it, so, maybe. Then we have, kind of like Elvis, we've got Michael, the movie. That one would probably be pretty good. I can't imagine them taking something with Michael Jackson and making it crap, if you know what I mean. Animal Friends. Good? No?
It doesn't sound right.
Okay, Mortal Kombat 2.
That would probably be a good one.
Yeah, I think that one's going to be good, but there's no actors or actresses that I know in that. So,
Oh, so they changed it up.
right. And so do you remember The Mandalorian, the movie, or the TV show?
Yes.
Okay, you didn't like it.
It was okay.
Well, now instead of doing season 4 of The Mandalorian, they decided to pull all the TV shows out and do one movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu. Yeah.
I'm not really into that kind of movie.
Well, we have The Breadwinner, Masters of the Universe. We talked about that in the last show. I am really looking forward to He-Man, She-Ra, Skeletor. That's like this year's big one for me. Then we got Disclosure, Toy Story 5. Another one.
Toy Story 5. That might be a good one, but I think they need to start cutting down on not making no more.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It seems like they're having a hard time coming up with new content. And I'm not the only one. Then there's Supergirl.
That might be good.
Maybe. Jackass 5.
Kids are going to like that.
Minions 3. Now we're on to the next one that I think is going to be awesome. July 10th, Moana.
Oh, yeah.
Comes
movie.
Yeah, and it's live action.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that in our family, I think that's going to be a big one.
You know, The Little Mermaid was actually a really good movie after we seen it.
Yeah, it was. I didn't get all the political hype stuff. I thought she did a really good job. I thought it was a great movie.
I did too.
And then, I'm not going to go any further because we're in July. There's 2 more movies on here. I want to see The Odyssey. Okay? It's got Matt Damon, Zendaya, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, Mia Goth, Charlize Theron, John Bernthal, and Robert Pattinson. And I remember this from when I was a kid. It's kind of an adaptation of Homer's The Odyssey. And it tells the story of Odysseus. Okay, and this is Matt Damon playing that. What do you think about that?
I like Matt Damon, so it's probably going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's star-studded. I can't imagine them telling the story in a bad way with this many really good actors in it. And it's just about the aftermath of the Trojan War, so it's kind of based on something. And then, again, here's this. So my granddaughter is a huge Spider-Man fan.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man's coming out again with Tom Holland, again.
Yeah, they need to cut these down. Stop making over and over and over and over.
Yeah, well, at least pick one Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things. So since the last show, they dropped a bunch of Epstein files. What do you think of them from what you've seen?
They're disgusting.
They are disgusting. I don't know, it's a little bit different than I thought they would be. I think they're different than everybody thought they would be, if you know what I mean. But have you seen what's actually happened? I mean, in America, we always point out the bad guys, but then they never get arrested, right?
Yep, that's how it's happening today.
Well, listen to this. Because of the Epstein files coming out, in Norway, they have temporarily suspended Mona Juul, a high-profile diplomat serving as its ambassador to Jordan, while it investigates her connections to Epstein because of the Epstein files.
Well, they need to.
Okay, here's Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico announced that he has accepted the resignation of his national security advisor, Miroslav Lajak, who discussed women and diplomacy with Epstein in messages exchanged in 2018. Okay, so just because these people had something to do with that dirty, rotten scoundrel, they're getting, in other countries, they're actually getting reprimanded.
Well, they need to start doing that here.
Well, okay, so how about this? In November, when this guy knew this was coming out, former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers stepped down from the board of OpenAI Foundation and left his role as an instructor at Harvard while the university investigates his connections to the disgraced financier. They say disgraced financier, but he was more of a blackmail operative for something. That's what I think anyways. He ran a honeypot operation to collect blackmail. Who was he working for? Well, for sure the U.S., for sure Israel, for sure Russia. I don't think that it mattered to him who it was. I just think that England. I just think that he was doing it, whatever money was out there, it was. Now, in October, King Charles' brother Andrew was stripped of royal and military titles, all of them. In this latest batch, they actually had a photo in there touching the waist of a woman, and then more pictures crouching over her on all fours.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick. Well, I mean, there's only so much you can gain from this, and then you wonder how much is real, how much isn't. And then it's got former UK ambassador to the U.S., Peter Mandelson, resigned from the Labour Party and the House of Lords amid disclosure that he shared private government information with Epstein. The Clintons have to testify. I mean, I think that all this other stuff is being kind of thrown in our face so we don't pay attention.
They're trying to use this to cover up, like, a lot of what's happening around this world.
Right, that's what I think. And, I mean, there's some crazy stuff going on. Like, Joe Biden's wife, Jill Biden, her ex-husband was just charged with murder of his current wife.
Yeah, I seen that.
Is that
crazy?
What do you think of that? I mean,
look at the family. You know, it's all around them. Evil.
It's really weird. You know, it's kind of, it is what it is, but sickening at the same time. The UK police went further with Peter Mandelson. And why? Because Peter Mandelson was, according to them, was giving secrets to Epstein because of, what would you call that? Naughty.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't even know what you call it.
Disgusting stuff that they've done.
And that's literally exactly what that was designed for, in my opinion. And you know what? In America, we can have an opinion. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Then, there's some other people out there. It's just fascinating to me. There's other people out there that say, according to these files, he's not really gone. I'm talking about Epstein. Have you seen that?
Yeah, a lot of people are saying in them files, it proves that he's still alive.
Well, and here's the thing. I thought there was something weird. You go into this place that, you know, what he did to himself supposedly can't be done, and then the cameras shut off, and the guards are asleep, and the cell's right in front of them, and there was just so many weird things.
He's probably hiding out.
Well, I'm thinking so. I think there's, I don't know. I don't know what I believe, but I know that what we're being told is total bull. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, hey, I think it's okay to be American and think that what we're being told isn't true. I think that what we're being told is laughable.
Yeah.
And then the Clintons, they're told to come to court, and they don't. And then they say, okay, we're going to hold you accountable. And then they say, okay, we will.
They should have, if it was one of us, and we had to appear at court, and we were ordered to be there, if we didn't show up, we were being arrested. There would be a warrant, and we would be picked up. Why weren't they?
Maybe it's because of the two-tiered justice system.
Maybe it's because, you know, I don't know. I think that people in our government get favored.
Yeah, well, for sure. People in our government, you know, people that are big corporate people. I mean, people with money. I mean, we could go back to Robert Kraft and, you know, look what happened to him when he visited the Love You Long Time.
Maybe people need to start holding, us, the people, need to start holding our government
accountable.
Accountable to the same standards they hold us.
Well, that was supposed to be the promise.
Well, we need to do it.
Yeah, well, I agree. But on to other things, because I can only talk about that for so long before I get sick to my stomach. And I don't look at the Epstein files like it's a political thing like everybody else does. I look at it like it is a sick and disgusting thing.
Yeah, it's gross.
It's kind of like in Minneapolis, the $19 billion. Here, they got everybody fighting over ICE that's arresting these, supposedly, they're arresting these criminals. And you've got these other people out there fighting and, causing chaos and stopping them and fighting with the cops. You got all that happening. And then nobody's thinking about the $19 billion that was siphoned away, that illegally, $19 billion. And I look at it from, okay, you guys are playing politics over there. I'm looking at it from the citizens of this country that are having a real hard time right now. The mothers and fathers and children that are having a hard time eating because, during this time that all this stuff is being stolen from the American people, we have inflation at record highs. People are losing their homes. Why? Because they're getting valued. They're doubling in price in 4 or 5 years. And then I look at that money that's gone, and that's just Minnesota. They say California, Maryland. They were talking about 4,000 daycares in a 15 square mile place. 4,000 daycares, and only half of them had kids in them.
I think that it needs to happen to every state.
I think so, too. I think we need to literally send Doge in or some sort of Doge into every state and actually have them tell the truth. And then finally hold people accountable. And I don't care what side of the aisle they're on. I don't care if they're Republican. I don't care if they're Democrat. I just want people held accountable, and I want to see people go to prison.
Yep.
I think that's what most
happen.
Americans want, but they have this thing with the news where they get everybody hyped and, pissed off, and they try to control the narrative, what people think. That's why it always scares me. It's not the stuff that we see that scares me as much as the stuff that we don't see.
Well, people need to open their eyes and quit being blind to the ignorant stuff that's being told.
Yeah, I agree. But like I said, there's only so long I can talk about that. How about this? According to the Associated Press, a 13-year-old boy in Australia swam for hours to save his mother and siblings who were swept away in the ocean.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, the family was from Perth. They were using kayaks and paddleboards on Friday morning when rough ocean and wind conditions started dragging them out to sea. Teenager Austin Appleby swam 2.5 miles to shore to raise the alarm, police said. The waves are completely massive. I didn't have a life jacket on. I just kept thinking. I just kept swimming. Austin said Tuesday. He said, then I finally made it to shore, and I hit the bottom of the beach, and he collapsed. Austin said initially he set off an inflatable kayak wearing a life jacket, but the ocean was rough and the vessel was taking in too much water, so he abandoned it. He then discarded the life jacket because it was impeding his swimming as he tried to focus on positive thoughts of his family.
That's awesome.
Why isn't that news everywhere?
It should be.
Because that's the type of stuff that I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Kudos to that kid. I'm happy finally to get a happy, fun story in the news.
Yeah, you don't see that ever.
No. How about this? And I was kind of thinking about you when I saw this. This comes from the Shepherd Express. Okay, kind of a weird website. But Smithsonian magazine reported on January 7th that the British Museum has a job opening for a dedicated treasure hunter. Okay, so if you go back, they did this now, but in 2023, the museum revealed that 1,500 of its Greek and Roman artifacts had been stolen or missing or had been damaged. The items included gems, glass, jewelry dating back to the 15th and 19th centuries BC. And they said, we want to get as much staffing as we can to try to push ahead. They
want you to go search for it.
Yeah, Thomas Harrison, head of museum's Greek and Roman collections. About 600 pieces have been recovered already, and after being listed on eBay or coming up for auction, that's how they were finding them. There is no information on the qualifications for such a position, although owning a fedora and a whip, get it?
Oh, I
You
could
know?
do that.
Well, don't you think that's cool? So they're literally looking for an Indiana Jones, and they posted the job January 7th, 2026. I mean, what do you think of that? I think that is awesome.
That is pretty cool.
Listen to this. You're going to like this, too. So we were just talking about Perth, Australia, and the kid saving the family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it says about 500 miles north of Perth, Australia, local Quion Salinger got a tip last week from a friend who was diving in the crystal clear Indian Ocean. There was a safe in the seabed. So ABC News reported that Salinger and his daughter headed up to the site where this was, right?
Mm-hmm.
They lifted the heavy box onto the back of their jet ski and took it back to land, where he posted a photo on Facebook in search of the owner. Salinger then recruited his friend Brad to help break into the safe, which was emitting a very strong smell. He said, I was hoping there was like a big gold bar in there. But the only treasure was expired, pungent package of beef jerky.
Ew.
Now, I mean, think about that. Somebody had to have been playing a joke, right? Like,
They had to.
throw a safe in the ocean, knowing somebody's going to find it, and then, what are they leaving there? Beef jerky. Anyways, he handed the safe over to the Western Australia police, and they're gonna look into it. But it's kind of different and weird to think that somebody would do that. Somebody's got way
too much time on
way
their
too
hand.
much time. Yeah, absolutely. And then, I wanted to go through this list. I don't know, it's different. We're going to do that. But before that, have you heard kids going around saying 6'7"?
Yeah.
6'7".
All the time.
Okay, so what is 6'7"? You haven't looked into this. I did because it was bothering me.
I did look into it. It's
okay, what were you
supposed
told?
to mean like a religious thing. You
Is
know,
it?
like the 6th day. I can't even remember exactly. And then the 7th day he rested.
Well, yeah, I mean, this got so bad in American schools, at least. They were saying that you couldn't say 6'7" anymore.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, they didn't really know. And so I went to dictionary.com, and I was referred to this NPR, National Public Radio, article. And it says dictionary.com has crowned a set of numbers as its 2025 word of the year. It says it reserves the distinction for a word that reflects social trends and global events that defined 2025, or any year for that matter, and reveals the stories we tell about ourselves and how we changed over the year. The word of the year is both viral, vernacular, and linguistic time capsule, like demure from 2024. This year, that honor was given to 6'7", pronounced 6'7", a slang term that's been delighting kids, exasperating teachers, and befuddling adults for months. And I sit in that category because I just didn't know. It says the 6'7" has its roots in a song, Doot Doot 6'7", which Philadelphia-based rapper Skrilla released last December. The way that switch Bert, I know he dying, 6'7", I just bipped right on the highway. Okay, that's where it came from, according to them. And it says Skrilla says using a verb that in hip hop can describe anything from a car smash and grab to smooth driving to general swag. But it was the phrase 6'7" out of that took off. It says it was popularized online largely through viral TikToks of basketball highlights, including LaMelo Ball, the Charlotte Hornets point guard, who happens to be 6'7". Also on ones of LeBron James, Paige Buckers. What do you think of that? I mean, so you looked it up before, and it had the religious overtones. Here they're saying it was a rapper, Skrilla. What do you think?
I think it's just, the new thing, the new trend. I don't think it's something bad. I think kids are going to be kids, And I think teachers need to lighten up. If that's all they're saying and they're not cussing and they're not saying racial slurs, I think teachers need to loosen up.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, okay, you say 6'7". The only thing that bothers me is I always want to know. I'm a curious creature. I want to know, what does 6'7" actually mean?
Well, I looked it up, and it brought up that whole religious thing.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. So which one of us is right?
Well, why does anybody got to be right? Maybe it means multiple things.
Well, yeah, and I don't like that either. Because then it starts confusing people.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, words should have definitions, and those definitions should be followed. And if you want to make up, if there's not a word to describe what you want or you're feeling or whatever, then you should make a new word.
well, what if people let's say somebody's colorblind and they see a different color than you? What if it's that kind of deal?
I say it's multiple shades of gray.
Oh.
You see? I mean, yeah. Anyways. Do you ever get the feeling, and this is kind of the last story of the day, do you ever get the feeling like when you're Christmas shopping or you go out there and you see these guys and gals and they've got tons of gold chains hanging off of them and big watches and, they're driving Maseratis. And do you ever wonder what they do? Or how eccentric they could be that shopping like that?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, I wanted to bring this up. I pulled up some Hollywood elites and the two things that they bought, or a few things that they bought, that is just mind-boggling. Like, you know about Nicolas Cage and his money problems, right?
Yep.
They call him the patron saint of bad purchases. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Okay, think about this. He bought 2 European castles. He bought a Tyrannosaurus Rex skull. He bought it, brought it into one of his castles, and then had to return it because he found out it was stolen.
Oh, my goodness.
He bought a pet octopus because he believed that the pet octopus would actually help his acting. And then he bought a pyramid-shaped tomb in New Orleans for his burial.
That's weird.
He spent $150 million,
So
and most of it on impulse.
where is it all?
Well, he kind of went through a rough financial time, and then he started doing a bunch of B movies and started gaining some money back. Then you got Johnny Depp. He bought a private island in the Bahamas. Now, if you got the money, I'm not complaining about it. It is what it is, right?
I probably would do that.
But he spends $30,000 per month on wine.
Oh, my goodness.
He had millions of dollars of costume collections that he never wore. And he bought human remains that allegedly belonged to Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
I mean, is it weird?
That is gross.
It is. And then you've got Mike Tyson, okay? Now, when he was a peak chaos consumer, he bought live Bengal tigers. He bought gold-plated bathtubs. He bought mansions that he never lived in. And he would meet people on the street and go buy them jewelry just on a whim. Mike Tyson earned $400 million and still went bankrupt.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is, right? Okay, so then do you remember Marlon Brando?
I don't think so.
Okay, Marlon Brando was a typical hypocrite. He was like super anti-capitalist. Like Marlon Brando was almost communist, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he was a hoarder. And I don't think that's the way it's supposed to be. He bought entire islands over by Tahiti and Tetero. He would buy very expensive, obscure, weird tribal artifacts. He paid for thousands and thousands of unread, very historical, but, very expensive books. And then he would go buy lots of cultural items from these tribes that he didn't even understand. He didn't even know what it was.
Waste of money.
Well, it is. And but these people have the money to do it. Then Elvis Presley, did you know that he bought entire car dealerships?
I heard that.
And then he just gave the cars away.
Yeah, that.
He had multiple private planes. He would do the same thing with buying jewelry for random fans. He bought homes for strangers. The weird part about Elvis, you can say this, he created loyalty and not wealth by his spending. What do you think?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And then remember Elizabeth Taylor?
Yes.
Okay, Elizabeth Taylor. She bought a 69-carat Taylor Burton diamond.
I believe it.
Multiple yachts, multiple jets, lavish wardrobes that she would spend tens of thousands of dollars on, and she would wear once.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, Gary Busey. Okay, this guy, he got into a car crash. I don't know if it was the cocaine or if it was the car crash that got him, but he would just go buy random plane tickets and take rides. He bought tens of thousands of hats. I'm talking like fedoras and stuff. What? Is that a fetish?
Hat fetish?
I guess it could be a hat fetish. Yeah, it could be. But I'm talking about $4,000 or $5,000 hats.
Yeah.
And he had boxes and boxes of them that he never wore.
Obsessions.
It was. And then do you remember when Storage Wars came out?
Yep.
So Gary Busey became addicted to Storage Wars. So what he would do is he spent millions of dollars on buying storage bins and then never went in them. So like literally, I mean, he would spend millions of dollars buying storage bins all over the country, and then he would never clean them out. He'd never actually go to them. He was just addicted and wanted to do it, but never could do it because of,
That's what a waste of money.
I mean, we could keep going forever. Look at this, though. Tom Cruise. He bought his own aviation fleet. He'd find all the churches of Scientology, and he would buy the adjacent properties to them. And then, okay, so he's a little bit like me. We do a lot of podcasts. We have Fuzzy Life Entertainment. That's our network. So we do a lot of this stuff. And you always get mad because you're like, why do you got to have this? Why do you got to have that? And I'm like, because we're an agency. And that's what we do. But Tom Cruise did a little bit different. He went and bought all the technical gear that studios normally rent to people. And he just went and bought them. Now, there's nothing. Do you think there's anything wrong with that?
You're asking me this to get me to. So you got an excuse.
I'm not. No, I'm not doing that at all. I just want your opinion.
No.
See, what do you think of that?
Well, that is if you're a millionaire and you have the space to put it.
Well, I mean, you got to be somewhat eccentric with this kind of stuff, right?
No.
Did you know that Marilyn Monroe used to pay for psychoanalysis sessions every week?
That's so weird.
That's what I'm saying. It's all this weird stuff, but we live in a beautiful, wonderful, weird time. Wouldn't you say?
I would definitely say.
So we want to thank you. Next week, we're actually going to be on time. And next week's going to be our Valentine's show. Which is awesome. I mean, Valentine's, it might be a Hallmark holiday, but there's so many romance stories we can talk about and the good, gooey, fun stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So sorry about this week being late with the show. It is what it is. There was ice on the ground. There was snow on the ground. Everything was chaotic. Nobody could get anywhere. Hey, it is what it is. No cabin fever here. Just moving forward. We will see you next week.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes. We love you.